like have killed each other. I think because that's just going to be a natural next step. Like, because you have all these resources. If you, and it's kind of like, I don't know if it's really like that now, but it will be. It will be in a way that there's more than enough resources to go around, but people are hoarding it, right? And it will be more and more clear that's the case as technology progresses. And so, like, it's going to, people are going at that point. People are going to figure out, like, okay, what to do, because it's kind of like in the SARS in Russia. People figured out, like, they were taking advantage of everyone else, and then they all got killed. So, things are going to go in one direction or the other.
Yeah, sorry to be like a downer. I mean, I guess it's being a downer. I don't know. But it's like literally either we'll do it the right way, or it's basically going to be super, super bad. Or they'll legislate it and no one will ever see the light of day. Either something will happen like that.
Yeah.
Look, I'm super bullish on this technology because, like, I think more motivated people will want to work. There will always be like operators for the machines, and there will always be new innovations for like AI and stuff like that, and like people that want to do hobby farms. But like, just if given the choice, like, why not choose to hang out with your family or create games or play games or be able to go outside in the middle of the day. And
the thing is, we don't really know what like a future human would be like, because we're connected to like Neuralink, and we don't know. So we don't know if we're going to be like regular humans, like we're kind of like animals right now. But like, what if we could somehow merge with like I don't know, some technology, right? And so that's what I'm saying. Like, like, hypothetically, if you could have a farm, and then like you have a robot take care of the farm, like that's like thinking in terms of like now, right? But in the future, we don't know what a person is going to be like.
I really hope I'm dead before Neuralink is a thing.
Why is that?
I don't think it's going to be used properly. I think it's going to be really terrible, at least for women. So I don't think there's a way to properly implement that. I just don't.
No, I think it's just it's natural. It's evolution, right? Like, I think it's bound to, something like that is bound to happen. So, and it's like you have an iPhone, right? It's like you'd rather have an iPhone than not, or whatever type of phone you have. You'd rather have that phone than not have it.
I mean, once you start having it, but like cell phones and smartphones were a thing for a lot of years before I had one. And I didn't miss it until I didn't know what I was missing out on until I didn't have it. But like, I don't want intrusive thoughts in my head from outside sources.
Yeah.
That's the difficult part, where it's like, how can you tell what is your own thought and what is like the propaganda from the state wanting you to think?
Yeah. but it's like that now anyway. So
Yeah, but at least you have a choice of like if you really don't want to be influenced at all, you could just unplug your TV and not have a cell phone and like
but you can't
read.
like you can't really do that.
Well, I mean, but at least your thoughts are your own thoughts. There's no thought police, like in the literal sense. So
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, I guess I could see what you're saying. Like, if that gets too restrictive, that that wouldn't be very good.
yeah, I mean, is this my same reaction that I have with people wanting to do like social points blockchains? And I'm like, look, like China already has this, and we've all agreed that it's a bad idea. Or like the implementation of how China does it is bad. And the way that trolls work, it's going to be super bad. And like people are going to get harassed, and maybe we should rethink how we do this. So my initial reaction is extreme caution for it, just in general. But I'm not saying like we shouldn't explore it, but I'm personally not excited for that technology. So
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, it'll be, yeah, we don't really know. But I could see like just like having control over things, like, and not having to use your hands or whatever, right? Like, that's going to be, and just being able to control things in different ways, that's just going to give people such an advantage. And with all this technology, all this cloud technology is getting more and more integrated with real life. And like, it's kind of like when you could write code that has like real life implications, in terms of like, well, obviously robots is one example of it. Like, you write code, and then like the robot will do something for you. And so yeah, like, I guess what I'm saying is like, with this AI stuff, it's just, it's going to link into every, like, I mean, like with the Neuralink, it's going to kind of combine all this like cloud infrastructure and HTTP requests and data flow. Like, it's going to bring a lot more value to those things. Because right now, to make an HTTP request, like, you have to use like Postman, or you have to use the shell, or whatever, right? Like, it's like you can't just like move your hand and then it'll make, like, yeah, you can move your hand and press a button, right? But it's like, you don't, I just think it's going to be more like, we're going to be more integrated with like the data and stuff.
I mean, it's inevitable. Doesn't mean I'm excited for it. So there's always that.
Yeah, I see. Like you're saying, like, some people don't get smart. Like, I know people that are like you who kind of aren't excited for the newest things, and they don't, they'll try to avoid getting a smartphone, right? Or for as long as they can. And
I mean, there's certain things that I'm like, yeah, sure, sign me up. I'm gonna do that. But if it's like, hey, we have this thing, and we're surgically putting this chip in your brain and you won't have your own thoughts anymore, it gives me pause.
Yeah, well, put it like that, then and I don't know. We'll see how it goes, right? Like, like we saw the monkey. The monkey was playing Pong with its brain, right? Like, isn't like, that's like something else.
Yeah.
I think that's a monkey, right? Like, that's a monkey, and it's just there's going to be so much potential. But yeah, obviously it's scary. It's scary. It is scary. And the first in the V1, like the V1, and I'm skeptical because of like having that implant in your brain. Like, there might be some sort of negative health implications to that, right? Like,
and they don't know about it because you're the first one.
Yeah, but that being said, I still think like this is going to be the future. And what, I had this idea, like, you can have, instead of having like I think this would be better, just have a helmet and somehow interact with your brain waves. But like, the problem with that is like that system will never have the I don't think like that, for that system to have the throughput or the control that having that direct brain connection will have. But
Yeah.
it would be a lot less invasive to just like put on a helmet, or like I don't know, like a little hat or something, and like it could read and send some brain waves or something like that.
Yeah. I'm doing math really badly, by the way, in case you're wondering what I'm doing right now, which you're probably not.
What type of math are you doing?
It's geometry, but it's even more basic than that. It's simple addition, and it is 11 p.m. at night, and I'm failing at basic math. So
Sometimes.
So in absolute numbers, how far away is 37 from negative 41? Right? So it would just be 37 plus 41. I don't know why this is not...
I just use a calculator.
Yeah, I'm using Excel. So it's 78. I'm not sure where I got 51 from. I think I was using 14 instead of...
Wait. Absolute value of 15. Wait, what was it again?
It's 78. Okay, so anyone... Wow, where's my math? Well, you have to stop using math inside of the cell that you need it to be in. Okay, so equals this minus 78. There. That's the math I needed. It's not negative 9. We need negative 36. Okay. Okay. See, this is why math sucks. And not just because it's me being incapable of doing math. So I did one spiral staircase. It's not a staircase. I'll just tweet about it. It's not a secret. And then I can show you what I'm doing. I made my theme this time is it's Grimm's Fairy Tales, but it's a bubble castle in the sky. So I am creating, it's highly conceptual, but basically I have like spiral bubbles surrounding a turret, and I did it in one coordinate, and I just need to translate it to just be in the one that is in the opposite, and then I can translate it to the other two as well, and we will just be done with the 4 turrets as far as placement of images goes. So, if you open that up, you can see that I have 1 turret of a spiral bubble. Wow, these words don't make sense. It makes me sound way more tired than I actually am. But basically we're going to have spiral bubbles on the 4 towers, and then we're going to do something different for the middle tower. That's really cool.
Cool stuff.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to math, and sometimes it is more difficult than other times. So, for example, when you have a 14 and 41 and you get dyslexia for some reason, it is unhelpful. Super unhelpful. Super duper unhelpful. What am I doing? Okay, so okay. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm being not a good listener, participator in this conversation anymore.
It's okay. I think I got what you're trying to say. Yeah, and your metaverse is I like your new design.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm really trying. It's just one of those things where until it's done, I'm busy. I just need to get it done now. And people are trying to claim all of my weekends, and it's unfair for me to me. So if we have a 16,
People are trying to do what?
Claim my weekends.
Oh, I see. Well, you just gotta tell them to F off. Like that happens to me too.
Yeah. Except it's like my nephew's birthday, and I always go to their birthday parties. And in November, I'm going to like a founder's retreat. I mean, everything is my own fault, except today, I got news that my current employer, they got my company that I was working with got acquired by another company, and they're like, hey, you know that salary that you agreed to 13 months ago? Well, what if you just keep that same salary for the next 12 months as well without getting a raise? Ever.
Wow, that's not the best.
Yeah. So, no, it's not the best. So, I'm trying hard to, well, I got my offer letter for the new company today. So, at like 6:30 p.m. my time. So, I'm going to push back on them on Monday. So, like, I have to do things this weekend to prepare for that conversation. And then I'm going to sign the letter no matter what, because even if I'm looking for a new job, it's nice to have a job while you're looking for a new job. So, yeah. They were like, we need to keep this confidential. And I was like, I definitely live tweeted this as it was happening, so you should have not mentioned that 45 minutes into this discussion. Should have led with that. So, there's that.
Fun stuff. Earlier, I'm creating a gallery for my own, and you could see that's like okay, so that's like the when you click on it, like it's just like it's in my 2D metaverse, and it's like a gallery, and then here let me share a video of like what the actual gallery looks like, what it looked like, and then when you click on it, it looks like, well, that's just like a blueprint, right? That's not actually what it's going to look like, but
that's cute though.
And that was actually generated. I was using AI. It's actually AI generated the UI.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. But let me pin the gallery. Alright, so this is a sneak peek of the gallery and some of the art that's going to be in the gallery. But yeah, so like the idea is that when you click on the image, it's going to like have like that like dialogue, like a pop-up, zoomed in version of the image and some information.
Yeah, people expect that. Like, you click on the image and it has, it's bigger and then it has the information and stuff. Yeah, that's really cute. I like the animation.
Thanks. Yeah, that's just like the 2D metaverse. You're going to have your character kind of move around, and so you have like your actual character in the game, kind of like yours, except for mine's like an overview, and it's two-dimensional. It's two-dimensional.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had more time because I would definitely be learning Phaser. Have you ever heard of that as a JavaScript library?
No, I haven't.
Well, it's cool, so you should probably fix that. No, just kidding. We all have too much to do. But I was going somewhere with that. Yeah, no, it has like, it's a cool like gaming engine thing. And if I wanted to do something 2D, I would be using Phaser. I was thinking about learning Phaser. Like, I've done like very basic things with Phaser a few years ago, so I should be able to pick it back up. But I was thinking about doing it for math books were banned in Florida this summer. And I thought it was dumb. So I was like, why don't we just do, a math challenge gallery and make it be like you can't advance to the next room until you solve a math riddle. And have it be an art gallery like that. But we wound up doing the Scarlet Letter instead, so at least I got saved from my own like ambition because of Roe getting overturned.
Yeah.
So
Like that, but most people wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, I can't be afraid of what most people want or don't want. I can just put out what I have and then we'll figure it out later. I think this is, like, I do think about it, but it comes out of my mouth like that, and then people doubt me. And then I'm like, what are you scared of? Of course I've thought about this stuff. but I need to do a lot of things, but right now I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, which is making the metaverse gallery, which, like, since people pay to attend it, it might be nice if it actually exists next month. So, you know, the usual. Yeah, since I'm literally just translating it from like one end of the grid to the other, I'm just hoping that I can just use simple addition and subtraction to translate it, and it'll just be perfect the first time. Like, I'm not even looking at it until it's done. So, I should probably at some point warn you that whenever I'm working on my metaverse now, I am on live stream. Because people keep telling me I need to put out more content, but like literally I need to make my metaverse. So, there's that.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm usually just doing coding when I'm on streaming.
Yeah, and like I'm usually coding if I'm in a space, because it's kind of like, no, I don't actually have the amount of time it would take to be in a space and not multitask. Like, I have to get things done while I'm doing this. There's no way. That feels like I was complaining, but I'm not. Like, I don't think anybody in a space is not, like, there are times when we're not multitasking, but we all have to be multitasking at some level. I feel bad because now I'm rambling.
Because what?
I said now I'm rambling.
No, it's fine. You know, multitasking, you can only do so much when you're multitasking, and especially coding, right? Like, coding when you're multitasking can be very frustrating. It really takes practice, in my experience. Like, maybe that's just me, but it's like, because coding itself requires so much focus, you know, you can't really be too engaged in a conversation.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the type of coding you're doing.
Yeah.
For me with this gallery, it's not that intensive because I'm not like the actual coding is done. This is just like placing things on a screen and a little bit of math.
So do you do any coding yourself?
Well, yeah, I mean, I made the gallery, like the coding behind the gallery that makes it work at the beginning.
Okay.
But like the basic code doesn't change from gallery to gallery. It's just the contents that change.
You actually know how to write like an you know what like asynchronous programming is, right?
Well, I mean, yes, I do know what asynchronous programming is, but I'm unsure what the question that you just...
Like, how do you write an async function that makes an HTTP request?
There's a couple of ways to do it. I usually do the .then, but you do just like the async and then the await.
Yeah.
Are you asking me
No,
because you're having an issue, or are you quizzing me?
I'm just wondering what type of code, if you do more of like the database stuff, or you do more just like the front end stuff.
So I started out my career as a DBA, and sorry, I messed something up. I'm pretty sure I put in the wrong number for... Wow, okay, sorry. Yeah, so I started as a DBA, and then I was a Rails engineer, which was pretty much like the back end, what is traditionally considered to be the back end. And then I got a job where it was supposed to be like 50-50 front end and back end, but I really liked Vue. So now I pretty much just like to do Vue.js.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I was just wondering. Oh, that's cool. Because everyone has like kind of different focuses.
Yeah.
When it to their programming stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's good I have the experience that I have. It, like, I understand it and I can do it. It's just that right now I want to focus on the front end professionally.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Okay.
One time I was talking to this programmer, or someone who's claimed to be a programmer,
Mm-hmm.
and then like he was like trying to like tell me like how he was like a good programmer and everything, and then like I asked him, like he was like trying to convince me, and like I was talking for a few days, right, and like he was just coming to my spaces and like trying to talk to me, like be my friend or whatever, and then I asked him, like, do you know what a string is? And he's like, he couldn't give me an answer, right?
A spring?
A string.
Oh, okay. I was like, well, Spring is like a Java thing.
Yeah,
but
no.
Yeah.
No, like he couldn't answer like what a string was. And he was like trying to tell me like he's like this like advanced programmer and everything, right? And
Yeah.
so it's just like I'm just like I became like skeptical like when I hear people say that they're programmers, and then but you're obviously like you're actually doing this stuff yourself, and I was just wondering like what type of stuff that you're into, so that's cool. Yeah, front end development is I've used Vue.js maybe like a tiny bit, but I know it's kind of based around kind of like how React does. There's similarities at least, and yeah, a lot of people like Vue.
Yeah, it's like basically the person that created Vue, they were like, they didn't like some things that React did, and instead of complaining about it, they just, made their own version. So, I pretty much like how Vue 2 does things. Vue 3 is a little bit weird because they're like, but this is so much better. And I'm like, this looks just like React code. If you like React code that much, you should just program in React. So, I'm pretty spicy. It's just one of those things where, like, if you found a way that you like to program, I like Vue because everything has it's very prescriptive. So, like, everything should be in the correct place. And I don't have to be in a component for very long to understand what the component is doing. Like, I don't even have to really read it to understand what's going on, if that makes sense. Because if things are in their proper place, it's easier to understand, like, just by the shape of what's going on. Yeah. So that's just me. I like to not expend a lot of energy if I don't have to on things that shouldn't be difficult.
Yeah, there's a lot of differing opinions. React used to be a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it was a lot more boilerplate. Like, 'cause they used to use classes, and then they switched to use functions to describe, the components, and it got a lot better after that.
Yeah, well, I was a professional React developer for 2 years, and then I switched to Vue, and then I got a React job again, and I probably would have stayed at it, except my boss hated how I spoke, and every time we spoke with each other, he would tell me that I needed to shut up and to please stop talking, and basically to never talk in meetings and stuff like that. So, and tell me that I need to practice my communication and learn how to speak properly. So I didn't last very long in that, but like, React did change from the time that I had done it the 2 years previously, and it was basically things like when I was the first time I was a React developer, the hooks were just coming out, and we were having debates on like what they are and if they were even useful. And then by the time I came back, it was like, no, you use hooks, you don't use lifestyle stuff. And then they even got rid of it. And one day I was having an issue, and I was like, wow, what would be really, really convenient is if I had lifecycle hooks that you all got rid of, because I don't want this called every time. I want this to be called once on render, and it would be convenient if we still had this, you jerks. So there's certain things with React that I just do not like, and I think that the way that they display like the JavaScript, and it's always like wrapped, like the HTML is always wrapped, and like with Vue you can if you have something that you want to preview, you can just put the whole thing in like a pre-tag, and you can do that. But React is like, no, like this has like node children and bullshit like that, and I'm like, React, I just want to know what the shape of this bullshit is before I start programming with it. Please let me just display this shit. So yeah, little things like that makes me angry.
You just haven't used React enough.
No, it makes me angry on the offset, and I just don't want to learn it anymore because it makes me angry. And Vue lets me do a bunch of stuff, and I'm not angry at it. So, like...
All right.
Yeah, if I can do things really rapidly and I don't have to worry about it, and it works, then, we're doing good. And yeah.
It's just, you could do it either with React or Vue. I think, like, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, it's just like HTML. It's just like rendering HTML and JavaScript. Like, so it's like, there's only so much you could do with it.
The thing is,
either one of them.
It's okay to have a preference, right? I just prefer Vue over React, so why in my personal project would I choose to work with something I personally dislike intensely? I would.
Well, I think the reasons for you disliking it aren't like they're not. I don't think. Yeah, like I get why you're saying that, but like I don't think it's fully. You're not really giving it a fair chance when you say those things, I think.
Well, I mean, those are just easy examples that I remember. So, like,
Yeah.
I had to use it in a professional, like, sense, and sometimes, with enterprise applications, they do make decisions that don't make sense. Like, they made sense at the time with, like, what was available at the time, but it just creates, like, I don't want to do this in my free time. I don't ever want to touch this ever again. And I do personally feel like React is harder to read than Vue, and I don't want to deal with it personally.
Okay, I got it. I disagree with everything with all your views on React, all your views. I disagree with them all, but I respect that you have your own views.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I just find that wrapping the JSX in everything, it just makes it a lot more difficult to read than just having it like in the template as HTML and then having the JavaScript in its own section.
Okay, I got it. You don't like reacting like Vue. I got it.
I mean, it's basically my personality on my tech account. My tech account, my tag is Amy's view on this, so I'm pretty much, I drew myself in this corner, but it literally makes me depressed when I'm working on React, and I don't want to be depressed because I have a lot of things that I want to get done, and it's unhelpful when you have, depressive thoughts and you just don't want to get up out of bed because you have to work with something you do not like. So
depressing. You can't even get out of bed when you have to think about using React. Holy.
I mean, it sounds a little dramatic, but it is what it is.
That should be your novel. My boss forced me to use React, and then I couldn't get out of bed.
Like, literally have to pep talk myself out of bed. It's not really like.
You need your emotional support animal to motivate you. Or else you just can't move on. You can't bear the thought of.
It's okay. I'm gonna be making my training video on how to do your own miniverse inside of your own website, like I have, but I'm gonna be charging double for React users.
Okay, so you'll get your vengeance.
Yes.
When the time comes, they won't know it. They'll sign up for the course and they'll be like, Amy, can you please teach me how to make this miniverse? And then you'll ask what framework? And then and then oh no, who knows?
I'll be like, I'm making this in React, but I fucking hate React, so I'm just charging you $3,000 for this. If you do this in Vue, it is $80.
Okay, so that's how you're going to change the world. Okay, by charging a lot for okay, I got it.
Hey, if you're gonna make me do something I super hate, I should be charging more for it.
Yeah, I guess so.
If I have to waste extra cylinders on things I really dislike, you pay the price. So.
Yeah, that sounds fair actually. So, yeah. Well, I'm sure that course is going to be a big hit.
Well, I'm not sure if you're being sarcastic or not. but I think it's going to do pretty well because I think people are really interested in, making metaverses and
Like, I shouldn't be talking because, like, you're able to sell shows to your gallery, right? And, like, I wouldn't think that would sell, right? Like, if so, like, I am being sorry. I'm kind of like joking, like, but I know I shouldn't be joking because, yeah, like you have different abilities, so I don't know, like you're going to be able to, you're going to be able to sell it. I know that. So
yeah, the
yeah,
thing
I
is,
shouldn't be
even
talking. I
if
shouldn't be talking.
yeah, even if I don't sell any of it, I'm going to also put like a consulting thing on there. So if someone is like, wow, I saw your course, but this is still complicated, I could be like, I can make you your own metaverse for $1,000. And then I can do that, a couple of times a month or whatever. So, yeah, because like the way I'm doing it, well, the way that, like Spatial does it, like it's drag and drop and it's nice. But I just don't have the patience to do Minecraft. So I just tell the coordinates and it is placed. I don't like drag and drop. So that's not what my solution is. But I it's not impossible. So I need to figure out how to make like my course different than how like my hacked way that I'm doing it, so that when people actually want to, like when they buy the course, it makes sense for what they want to do. I don't even know if that made sense. I'm really tired. I should probably hang up and go to bed, but I'm not. Now I just want to see if I can get this whole spiral done.
Hello. I think you rugged.
I was like, hello, random person that said hello and then went away. I'm gonna have to go back to this and fix it. That's probably not right. I think my cats are going to try to bite my feet earlier tonight than normal. So you've been doing the implementing an art gallery in your metaverse?
Yeah.
What's next on your roadmap?
Many things. Pretty much anything. Like, and there's, you know what? It's going to be whatever it's going to be most valuable. So it'll be it could be anything.
That makes sense.
I remember we were talking to that Slava guy the other day. I don't know if you remember that person.
Yeah, I went to his space about AI stuff, and one of his guests kept being like, well, your solution is fine for an art gallery, but if you want to work at a real business or have a real business, you need to learn Unity and Unreal Engine. And I was like,
what bullshit. Holy.
I was like, first of all, my business is an art gallery, and therefore I didn't over-engineer my solution, and it works. And this is a legitimate business because I'm making money, not like enough to support me as like an independent doing it for full time, but it is successful in the sense that like I'm making money, so it's a business. So you can pretty much stop with that language. That's what I wanted to say with him. That was my internal dialogue. But yeah, it is.
Yeah, well, it's obviously like that. That's bullshit. Sorry, you're going to say something else?
Oh, I think it was just because I said something like, it's sad that like I have this metaverse business as the owner, but I still don't even have the skills to, get a metaverse job if I wanted one. Because you have to know Unity and Unreal Engine to get a metaverse job.
That's probably also bullshit too. Maybe it'll help, but what happened with the Slava guy is like he was like, "Oh, I want to help you with your metaverse." So okay, we had like a talk, and then we were talking, and then he's like asked me, "Oh, I want to help you build. I could build anything in your metaverse." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "What do you want to build?" I'm like, we could add a physics engine or something like that, right?" And like he's like asking, "What else? What else?" And I'm asking like, "How are you going to help me?" I'm like, he's like, "I just want to know." And then and I asked him like straight up, like, "Are you just trying to get money from me?" And he's like, "Well," and he kind of avoid the question a bit. He's like, "Well, I'm wondering if there's ways we could work together, and that, there could be ways that you could pay us to help you with your project." And I just kicked him out because I felt like he was just trying to take advantage of me. So I am like that.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't asked me for money yet. Probably because I'm really defensive. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I actually don't give off the impression that I need any help. I mean, if I was making enough money, I would definitely be hiring my coworker that helped, but I'm pretty sure I know that he knows 3JS and A-Frame, so it would be convenient to have another developer knows this exact stack that I'm using to help develop stuff, which is why I would be hiring him and not just because I know him,
Can't hire your coworker.
I want to hire my coworker.
Doesn't work like that.
I want to be making enough money that I can myself stop working at my company and then also hire my coworker. I mean, a year from now, or maybe not directly, because I think that's poaching. I think there might be actual rules against that, but
yeah,
I don't give a
that,
shit.
and there's also the, if you're making as much as this person's making, you can't, it doesn't work from a money perspective. Because you'll never have enough to actually hire him if you're just working for the same company.
No, I mean, I wish I was making enough that I could be doing my thing full time, but if I hire my coworker, it probably wouldn't be full time for him. It would be like, hey, can you work on this for 10 hours a week and I pay you, an amount? And then, we get development done quicker on my side project.
Okay, so, yeah, I get what you're saying. You could do that, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, if I had enough money. I definitely don't have enough money because, I won't do what happened to me, which is oh, do you want to get paid with equity only? And then, it's been a year and there is no actual money being paid to me. And I'm being a jerk about it because I have no more time. There's no more time in my day. And if I'm going to choose to do something in my day, it's going to be the thing that, I've staked my reputation on, I'm getting money for, and not the thing that is in the very early stages and not getting revenue yet, and is not my personal reputation on the line. So just gonna put that out there. And plus it's been a year, and yeah. He knows this, though. Like, I have been very honest and vocal. So, yeah. We were talking about me not being able to hire my coworker. It feels like nepotism, but also, like, it's fine. I do want to get to the point where I can, you know, hire an intern or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Because, like, I have shit going on that is not the metaverse related and could actually use help on. And, yeah, that would be really nice if we could do that. So I did reconstruct the spiral really quickly, and it's looking good. But in reconstructing it, I realized that the way that the spiral is Doge, it's really difficult. But I'm pretty sure that it's not curved enough. And so I need to redo the curve. But redoing the curve will be fine because now I have the coordinates in Excel. So when I change the left and right coordinates, we'll be able to update the other stuff really quickly. So we now have more spirals. And I changed the background of the sky. So there's no longer a chicken, which is nice. We have dramatic clouds now. Sorry, Doge. I don't know if I'm being interesting or not. Probably not.
Cool. It's cool. It sounds like you're figuring out your metaverse stuff. I'm just adjusting the CSS, the width, the max width, just like regular CSS stuff. Yeah, and using React, your favorite library.
Gosh, I'm like, it's like Mufasa. I'm like, wow, why would you use that? Do you hate yourself?
It's a great library. It's a great library.
You must really hate yourself. So I might be a little dramatic about that, but sure, whatever. It's gonna bother me now because
it's like you're like using the Litecoin, and like you're like a Litecoin maxi, and you're always going to be like Litecoin's the best.
I guess.
Let's check NPM. Let's check the numbers. And I know you're going to say, oh, it doesn't matter about the numbers. It's like it's a library. Like why? Code's code, right? But we'll see what people think.
But it's also about the momentum because React is much older than Vue. But if you look at the daily downloads, pretty sure
we're getting all these eyes, all this development. But it's different things. I know. I'm okay. So Vue.js weekly downloads, it's at 2.95 million. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty good. Like that's a lot. And let's check the GitHub. 32.9K stars. So that's very good. It's very good. All right, let's check out React. React. What are we at? V18. We're at V18. I think mine's in V17. It's mine V17. Do I have V? Oh, mine's in V17. That's no good. I don't like that. I have to update it. I have to see the updates. Okay. React is 14.4 million a weekly downloads and 195k stars. So I'm just saying, right? Like, it doesn't mean that React's better. It doesn't mean that, but I'm just saying, like, that says something.
It means that it got there first, and that tech bros have decided that they need to be gatekeepy on a library that is very difficult for beginners. That's what that means. That's all it means, is that it...
They ruined your Vue.js. They took all the attention away from the Vue.js.
Well, no, because React is there first, right? So, like, people know about React, and since it has, like, the highest market share, and people know, like they know there's going to be jobs, so people learn it. So then it becomes like, well, are you going to use the objectively better framework, or are you going to use the framework where you can get a job? And like the most of the time, the responsible answer is
that must be the comparison. That must be it.
I'm not going to tell people to learn Vue because you can get a job as a beginner with React, but as a developer, you should be exploring new frameworks and stuff every once in a while. So that...
Almost convincing. That's almost a convincing argument.
No, it's true. Like, I am not going to be a Vue developer forever. I just happen to really like it for now.
Alright.
I mean, I'm hope not. I think I'm actually going to wind up being a CEO and not doing programming at some point, which will be very sad.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. And then I'll be very sad, but also making a lot of money, so maybe I won't care, but I'll have more time to do AI art, so maybe it won't be all bad. So
I don't know if you want to do AI art, you just do AI art, right? You don't become the CEO.
No, you're allowed to have hobbies as a CEO. And honestly, it's probably a better hobby than most CEOs have. So we're going to be doing a lot of...
It's just a hobby then.
Yeah. But I'm really happy that 2 of my art pieces have sold as on my Genesis, like my collection.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You should post them here. Let's see.
So apparently I'm doing foundation pin tweets wrong. I need to fix that, but I'm busy, so like I'll do it tomorrow. That's the excuse.
All right.
But here, I'm getting to it. I had one of those things where I had actually interacted with your tweet, so Twitter was making me like go through my entire life's history before I can get to my own profile. But apparently if you actually attach the picture, it'll show up in
Yeah. If you just have the link, it won't show up. But I see. Yeah, okay, you have a nice cat here. Psychedelic cat and butterfly. That's pretty nice. That is some nice AI art.
Thank you. Yeah. I
guess you must see a lot, right? Because you're always doing it. So you actually picked out some nice ones here.
Yeah. Also, I didn't realize that the other cat got picked up as well. So 3 of my artwork. I'm really good at paying attention to my own things. I don't even know who picked up the other hat, but the people have spoken. They really like AI psychedelic hats, apparently. Sorry, you said I must have done this a lot. Yeah, this
I know. No, I'm saying that I know you do a lot of AI art. So, and you're able to pick out. You're clearly, you're able to pick out like the good ones, right? Because there's so many of like you see so many different things generated.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's that. It's like AI art is more about the curation of the. Well, I mean, it depends on the type of artist you are because it's like if you're putting multiple prompts inside of Photoshop and using them as layers, then yes, it's about curation, but it's also about you being able to merge it into a new piece. But like I'm like a concept artist with that, so yes, it's mostly about like this particular prompt that I use. It's really hard to get a good prompt like a good result from it. But when you do get a good result, it's kind of amazing, if I say so myself, and I just did. So, and it doesn't have like, like Midjourney has like a look to it if you don't get the styling correct. Like I find that.
I know exactly. You were saying that before, and I know exactly what you're saying with the AI system. The AI system tends to produce like things in that AI system style.
Yeah. So it's like I didn't want it to look like Midjourney. I wanted it to look like if I took a paintbrush, you can look at it and go like, yeah, that is Amy's style.
Yeah, I think it's good that you have these ideas because I think that's the point. You're not. Yeah, you can use the system to create art that works well with the system, but I think ultimately you want to be able to create like what's in your head. You don't want to create the AI version of what's in your head.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I want to get back to more like wordsmithing things where like I'm experimenting with more prompts and just getting better at it. But for now, I'm just really happy that like my first NFT collection is something like for me personally and not just like I mean I say like not just for banned books art like in air quotes, but like what's even like I might wind up selling banned books art because it's a company, it's not me. So like then I won't own my first NFT collection. Like that's super sad and depressing. So I just wanted my first one to be like mine.
Got it. Yeah, it sounds like you have a lot of ideas of what you want to do with your banned books art.
Yeah, like I really, really, really wanted Supercluster to launch at any point so that I could use, because I'm a partner with them, so that I can put my collections on there. But if they're not going to, launch, then I need to move forward with minting collections elsewhere.
Wait, who are you talking about?
So, Voxel X, the parent company, has a NFT marketplace called Supercluster, and it's built. They have the security certificates approved, and they're waiting for an uptick in the market to launch. And they've been waiting for at least 2 weeks now. And like they've been telling me since June that it's going to be like 24 hours. Like it wouldn't be surprised if you know, like, it'll be launched in a day, it'll be launched later today, it'll be launched in 24 hours, and, like, it's October. You know? So, like, barely October, but it's October. So, like, I pushed off making NFTs so that I could, you know, do my first NFTs on VoxelX, but, like...
Yeah, they didn't deliver. Or
They haven't...
weren't ready on time.
Yeah, they're not on time, and, like, I'm not going to delay the growth of my project because I partnered with somebody.
Yeah, obviously. And maybe it's like, you know, it's sad, right? Like, it's that you put your trust in them, and then they didn't deliver what they said they would. Maybe it's a lesson for you, you know. And I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but that reminds me of, like, something I would do for sure. And, like, it's like being too nice. Like, I guess that's what it is. It's like it's easy to be too nice if that's what your personality is like. And that's one of my problems. Is like,
yeah.
Sometimes, like, people the benefit of the doubt I shouldn't, or whatever. Like, I trust people I shouldn't trust, and
yeah, and, like, I didn't exchange money with them. Like, they didn't give me money, and I'm not giving them money, and they didn't require me to put, like, VoxelX as a partnership on my website, so I just haven't yet. So, other than me talking about it, it's not like people know or will remember that. Like, it's not a big...
Yeah, but it's still wasted your time, though. Like,
yeah.
Because they even if there wasn't money involved, it still wasted your time and effort, and your planning, right? It had an impact on all these things, and over something they just didn't deliver. I'd be pretty upset with that.
The thing I'm the most upset about, and you're recording this, but I'm pretty sure they'll never find this, but they're like, you're a creative partner, and, you know, we have all these resources for you. And I was excited because, like, the less time I spend convincing artists to participate in my gallery, the more time I can spend, like, on LinkedIn and, like, all of the other places to try to get traffic into the gallery, because it's a two-sided marketplace, right? So they have, like, this group, and they're like, well, now you're a partner, but, like, Voxel isn't going to be involved in you creating, like, connecting with the partnerships. You have to do it on your own. So, like, they have a group Twitter DM, and this month I was feeling much better than I was feeling last month, just emotionally. So I was like, hey, you all, we have a week until my collection, like, I'm looking for collaborators, and, like, this is what it is. And then they wrote this really big, long paragraph about how we shouldn't be using this channel unless it is a major space or a major tweet. And I was like, and then they were like, you need to privately talk to each of the partners, the 70 of them, and approach them separately. And I'm just like, what am I doing here? If I'm not allowed to, like, talk or connect with anybody. So.
Yeah.
At least that's how it feels with me. Like, that's how I interpreted it, and maybe that's not what they meant, but it's in my view of what happened.
You're just wasting time, right? It's like, I don't know, it's just, yeah, like, just based on what you're saying, like, you just wasted your time with them, and
Yeah.
there's nothing much you can get from them. And they sounds like they're just causing confusion, complication.
Yeah.
Like what is this? Why is this so complicated, right? And they got you all involved in everything,
And yeah, like generally like how do I say this nicely? Like I don't believe anybody's project is more important than mine. But if you explicitly tell me that you don't think that my project is major or that I should have the space to talk, like I just do not give a shit about your project. So, there's that.
yeah. Well, like the whole thing, like if you could look at it like that, like just looking at their attitude, and just you gotta be careful who you spend your time with.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's in general it hasn't been that bad because like they're not launched yet. Like how much is there really to do with them? But it's still been like I'm peeved because I had plans and they had to be delayed. And like I was going to launch my first AI art collection in July. And the voxel partner was like, you should use supercluster. And I was like, oh, that sounds fine. He's like, it'll be in 24 hours. And like, it's not even done yet. I could have done all the research I'm doing now and launched on Rarible like I'm doing now, and then have had the AI art collection done in the same month that it was created, which would have made sense. Except, I will say that I am a little stressed, so it's actually nice that we're doing the theme redux and I'm introducing the AI art minting at the same time. That way, we can make it like its own event and we'll have a lot of art. And yeah, we'll get this done. So, not every change of plan is terrible.
I'm not a fan of Redux. I never liked that library.
Well, I mean, obviously, Context API was superior.
Context API. I never used. No, it was. I made my own. I made my own library, and then.
See, it's terrible enough that you're like, I'm just gonna make my own state management machine. F you.
I swear. Then React hooks came out. They probably got inspired by me, right? Because I was trolling the founder or like the person who wrote React, and like this is like years ago, but like for some reason, like because I thought he was making stupid decisions with like they made like component based classes, because at first they weren't component. No, they made class based components. And then at first they weren't class based. It was just like you had a function and like it like create component, React.create component. And then they introduced the classes. And then they took away the classes. So then like I was trolling. They introduced hooks. And I was like, why they introduced all this stuff and then they just took it away. And and I was trolling before then too. So and then I had my own library, and the whole point of my library is like just get state, set state, right? And it was just like you have the functions and you could access them anywhere in the code, get state, set state. And that was the idea behind it. And then React hooks came out, and like a bit after my library, I'm not even going to say the name of it, right? But hooks came out, and like it was only a bit after, right? And maybe they were inspired. I'm sure a lot of people had the same comment. There were so many. It seemed like everyone had their own React state management library at that time too. So I wasn't the only one. And after React hooks came out, like I think people were still trying to use Redux, and it was so stupid because it was like Redux was like a job requirement, and people were like asking, and then like, and people were saying like you need to learn Redux is the way to go, and like people were so serious about it, and like I was always critical of Redux. I was saying like we have React, like why do we need Redux, right? Like it's ridiculous. It's just it's really stupid, and then a few years later, like no one uses Redux.
Yeah.
And
well,
anyways, I'm just ranting now.
Redux is so much boilerplate. I actually, when I was jumped from being a Vue developer back to being a React developer, I started making a website side by side where I was like, this is in plain HTML, and this is in Vue, and this is in React. And then so that way I can tell you at what point, like, having it as a plain HTML page is not not feasible anymore, and like why we would use Vue or React. And like I recorded them too, and every time I had to do React, I was like, why would you make this so difficult? Why is this so boilerplatey? This is bullshit. Let's just use Vue. Let's go back to the Vue code. So yeah, I tried.
In the workplace, I've learned it's like, you just go along with, what your manager or boss wants, and like it, and sometimes it actually you learn later on that they were right, even though you thought they were wrong. But a lot of the times it is just bullshit, and I think when you're at a lower level workplace, there's just more and more bullshit. If you're working for like these Tesla AI stuff, like you really can't, there's not time, you can't bullshit like when you're doing that type of programming. But like when you're doing like just like, I don't know, like boring like bank stuff, or I don't know if bank's the right stuff, but like everyday stuff, right? Like you're programming stuff for a grocery store or whatever, right? Like I don't know if that's a good example either, but bullshit, it creeps up in the workplace. It's amazing how it happens, and there's so much of it.
Well, the thing is, people like to blame junior developers for like technical debt, but most technical debt is made by the senior developers at the beginning of the project, because there's always like, nothing's ever going to be 100% perfect, and once you start using whatever the solution is, and over time these are going to evolve, but like there may have been an imperfect understanding of what the problem was, and then all of a sudden like you have this solution that no one can use and everyone is hacking, and it's a bunch of bullshit. I just tried to create another watercolor cat, and oh my god, it is freaking cute. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be minting this one next. I'm gonna save this image and I'm showing it to you. Oh my god, it's so cute. I'm distracted by this cuteness. Sorry, we were having a serious discussion, but I have stimulus on my computer and shit, it's so cute. What the hell?
Share it here.
Doing it right now. Gosh, oh my god, this is so cute. What the heck? It's not allowed to be this cute. What the hell? I can't believe I didn't notice that the third one. Well, I mean, I can believe it. I'm really bad at checking things. You don't want to know how much I have on my email unchecked. But isn't that really cute?
Yeah, looking at yeah. That's a good one. Very cute.
For me, it's the eyes, and then like the body is more of, it's more abstract. Like it's not like you get the
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's this style. It actually it works well with the AI. Like when you first look at it, you might think it's an actual watercolor painting.
yeah, and those eyes are freaking adorable.
Yeah.
I was gonna do a dog next, but no. Hi, Flags. How are you?
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you?
Good. Yeah. Just chilling, sharing some art, talking about art. What's up with yourself?
Cool. Yeah, no, I'm just listening, man. Just hanging out, making some shit myself. So
Cool.
no big deal.
Do you have any art yourself?
Yeah, I make stuff too. Sure, I make like AI too, and take photos, stuff like that. I'm just starting to get into the animation aspect of it, so that's pretty cool.
Okay. Well, share some of your work.
The original watercolor cats came out so. Okay, first of all, we're talking about Flags. Sorry. I'm just looking at my own art. I got distracted by it. But it's like, my first collection cannot just be watercolor cats, Amy. Like, you're a crazy cat lady, I know, but it can't be that much. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now I'm actually looking at yours. I'm sorry, Flags. It's 12:20 in the morning for me.
Your art can be whatever you want it to be. Don't worry, it's all watercolor cats or whatever, you know, that's you, if that's what it is.
Yeah, but then, like, it's too early to shoehorn myself in to being just, watercolor crazy cat lady. But I like this. It's surreal. I like, it's a light bulb for a head, right?
Sure, I guess, yeah, it's up to interpretation, but yeah.
So, what's appealing to you about this one, Flags?
Put me on the spot. It's just one of the last ones I put out, but it's I don't know. I think that we're moving towards a place where, and if we're not already there, where people are pretty much consumed by their technology, and they're eventually not going to need to go out in the real world. They're going to be able to live it all, in a dark corner somewhere.
Yeah.
But the piece itself, I like the colors, I like the style, and I've made a bunch of different other similar kind of styles, where it's in similar kind of theme. where I don't know, just get some editor.
Very cool. Yeah, and I think that's probably a real message. I think, yeah, there's, you know, we can live in you get trapped or lost in the virtual worlds, but I don't know. I think it's not necessarily a good thing though. And like your art here shows that. I like how in the background, like surrounding your head is like darkness, and I don't know. It's just like it's a good symbolism, right? Like you could just be like you could be in a dark place. Like, you know, people could just end up in a dark place. Like people are already doing that with VR. Like just spending all their days, and people are doing that with computers. They're spending all their days, and it's like they have to. It's like, but then it's like you have to. But people are like voluntarily also spending their time
I'm going
on
to
these
bed.
things.
Thank you for hanging out with me.